Okay. So, after the lockdown, when you came back to water training, how was it for you to feel the boat again and get into the water training? Was it hard?
Um, so actually, I have to say it was less hard than expected
Mm-hmm.
because I think what helped during lockdown was um, the fact that I had the chance to row a lot on the RP3, like the
Mm-hmm.
dynamic rower. So I think that's helped a lot, actually. I think I would have struggled a bit more if I had only normal erg. But yeah, so that was a luck. Actually, I was really lucky, and yeah. But actually, I mean, it was hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was. I had the feeling for the first days. Honestly, I felt like I was 15 again. Like I was a bit like, oh, my oars and my level hands and stuff. Like basic things. But I think it was a good way to start the basics again because we were all in the same situation. So we really start with the basics again, and it was a good opportunity to correct technical issues that we have, like that I've had my whole life. It was a bit a good way to reset, restart, and do the right steps, and not just wanting to go fast, because we had really a lot of time to build up. So that was good. That was really good. But yeah, I'm not a girl that has a lot of. It's getting better, but initially I'm not like a big boat feeling girl. Like I'm just a, you know, powerful girl. So now that I'm a heavyweight, I am obliged to feel the boat better because I am not the strongest of the field anymore physically. So it's a thing that I have to change, But and it's getting really better. But as a lightweight, it's it's terrible. But when you have the power, you want to use your power, and so you sometimes forget that boat feeling is important. So so yeah, it was a challenge, but it was a good one, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Okay.
we went back into singles. So that was also a good way, like in the single, uh, I don't love the single, but like it's a good way to um,
Better yourself.
improve. Yeah.
Okay.
The next question is about your back injury back in 2018. I think it made you stop rowing completely. How did you handle that mentally? How was your routine at this time?
Um, yeah, so okay, back injury was 2017, yeah. So I just finished juniors, junior year, and then I had to step up under 23. But yeah, I had this back injury, and basically I went to the doctor, and they said, yeah, either you stop rowing for at least 6 months to see how it goes, or you have to get operated. And I
Okay.
was like,
Okay.
I'm so young, I'm not gonna operate my back. Like my mom was like, stop, you're not doing this. So I decided, and it was actually a good timing because it was also the year where I finished my high school. Um, and I don't know how it is for you guys, but for us, it's a bit of a fashion to do a gap year once you finish high school.
Okay.
Either, half of the year you work, or you do like a bit of, experiences, and then the other year, part of the year, you can travel or do, whatever before starting university or whatever you want to do.
Mhm.
So I was like, you know what, this is a good timing. Like I've always dreamed to go to Australia. Like, let's do it. So it was a good timing. So then I stopped, and my back got better and better. But I was missing. I wasn't actually sure I was gonna come back to rowing. Like I was actually okay with myself to step away. But yeah, during my gap year, I was like, okay, I am missing this sport so much. So yeah, I decided to come back, and my back was better. I did a lot of work with doctors and stuff to make it better. So no, it was a good thing that I stopped and started again. Like again, good basics, good start with the basics always. So yeah, that was a good thing. And then I was so motivated to come back, and I think that's the moment where I decided I wanted to go lightweight, because I was a bit between the two weights, and at that time it was better for me to go lightweight because there was a stronger team in the Swiss team. There was actually no heavyweight, or just one heavyweight girl, so there was no team really. Whereas lightweight, there was a bigger team, so I was like, okay, let's try it. There was more potential. Like I just thought that to lose a few kilos was going to be easier than to gain them. So yeah, that's how I decided. I came back super motivated and super ready to row.
Okay. Okay, so how was your performance after the injury? Like when you start with the basics, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, actually, that's a good question. So basics meant like I was so unfit. Like, let's be clear, I just had done 6 months of traveling, partying, like no sports, or just just maybe jog here and there, like to feel good. But I was like really unfit. So I was like, okay. I started because actually I remember I was in the middle of nowhere in Australia, and there was this place that had an erg, like a really old erg, and I was like, like, should I erg? Like what? Like, and then I was like, okay, and it's so strange because I think when you're used to training with a team and stuff, you always feel you have to perform. But there I was really like, I'm just erging for myself. Like, who cares? I can stop after 10 minutes if I want to and stuff. So I was like, okay, let's go. So I went and I just did it for fun. I was really, I can't even remember if the screen was working or not. Like, it was really, but I was just like, yeah, I really enjoyed it and stuff. I was like, okay, this is fun and stuff. So when I came back, I was really like in the back of my head, it was like, yeah, I think I really want to go back to rowing. So I did a few sessions and I really started, I think the first session I did was maybe 20 minutes on the erg or something, and then a bit of watt bike, and then I built up from there. Like I still have all my trainings I did at that time, I wrote them down. I still have my little journal with like all my trainings, and I can really see the little baby improvements. Like it was maybe then 30 minutes, then 2 times 20, then like it was really baby steps. And the times were terrible, but it was, I was improving every time. And I think what is cool when you start so low is that you improve so fast at the beginning. It's so motivating. You're like, this is so great. But yeah, so yeah, it was going well. And then I think, so my boyfriend at the time was in the Swiss team. And yeah, I think that was really speaking to him and seeing how he was doing and stuff. I was like, okay, I really want to go back. Like, this is really something actually I want to do. So, and I think I'm a bit stubborn. So like when I put something in my head, like it's going to happen. So I think like that was really something I wanted it. So I realized, I think what is important as well is that you have to realize what it takes to, like, it's great to have like cool ideas in your head and stuff, but you also have to realize the work you have to put in, and you have to be ready to put that work. And I think that's maybe where people fall out a bit, because everyone is good to say, I want to do this. But I think not everyone is good to actually realizing what it means to get there. But I think because I had done the junior team, because my boyfriend was in the team and stuff, I really knew what I was, what I had to expect. So yeah, from there I did steps, and I think then I came back for the season 2018 under 23 lightweight. I've learned a lot, and I think 2019 then was like the uphill, like it was. I've improved so much in a year. It was insane. So yeah.
We were just talking, me and Sarah and our coach, about this point that people have goals, but they don't know how to what it takes to achieve these goals, and that's always the problem. All athletes, I think, want to go to the Olympics, but not all of them are willing to put the effort to really race at the Olympics.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I think that's really, really true. And I mean, I think once you get into a federation, it's a bit easier because you're obliged to do the program, and you're a bit like, I don't know how it is for you guys, but for us, it's like we have so little free time that we are like this, like we don't have the opportunity to see a lot what is outside, like I think now that I am in a federation, it's easier to, not really real. It's like it's terrible to say, but not really. I don't know. I just feel like the years where I was in school and rowing, it was harder for me because I could see everything that I was missing out. And you're a bit like, I love rowing and I have all of these skills and stuff, but I feel I'm missing out in this other side of my life. But I think that now that, my friends are working, like I'm bigger, and I really know that this is what I want to do. I'm also really much more okay to miss out on the other stuff. Like you're like, well, it's cool that you're having your birthday, but today I'm at the Olympics. I'm gonna be like really happy I didn't come to your birthday. And I'll be there in 2025. Like it's a bit. I may not be there for your 23 birthday, but I'll be there for your 27, and that's also okay.
Okay. The next question will be, were there any turning points in your rowing journey up till now? Have you had any mental training that changed your mindset and approach?
The mental training?
Yeah.
So that's a good question. So last year I got surgery on my arms. So that was in May, and I was so grateful because I started working for the first time with a mental coach in March. And I actually never had a mental coach before. And then I did this internship for my studies in a swimming league. And I saw how swimmers trained and prepared for racing and stuff. And I was like, wow, they do. It's a completely different approach than rowing. So I was like, wow, but like, I should try, to see a mental coach and stuff. So that's where I decided like that I should take one. And I started working with this lady. She's so, so good. And it was actually really, a luck that I started working with her in March. So we started working, and then in May I got surgery, and then that was like maybe the most important time for me in my rowing life to have a mental coach. So I was really happy I was working with her at that time. So because I was really out of the team for months. And I think once you're out, it's hard to, see everything that is going on from the outside. And, it was a bit like, well, I'll be back, but it's always hard to see everything from the outside. So yeah, it was really good. Like I would recommend mental coaching to anyone. Like it's really important. And I don't say it must be, of course, it's like if you want to work with professionals and stuff, they have maybe techniques and stuff that you can use, which is good. But I think also just having like a mentor or something, it's also already so helpful. Like I would really recommend this to anyone because it's just to have support from someone that knows you and what you're going through and your sport and whatever. Like that's already like so important. Everyone should have that, I think.
Okay. So you're currently in the training camp, like you said, in Italy for Paris 2024 qualification. So how is it like? How are you handling the training and the mental stress there?
Okay, so training is going well. After trials, I've qualified in the quad. now, so it's a bigger boat that I'm used to, because coming from lightweights, as you guys know, it's only single and doubles. So now I'm in a quad, so it's like faster. The Ks go super fast. No, I'm kidding. No, but it's really a different. It's cool. Like, it's a different approach to training, I would say, because in a quad you can't just do your thing. You have to really feel the boat, feel the others, like become as one. And it's true in a double, but it's even true, I think, the bigger the boat, the more important it gets to really adapt to others. So, and because we're a new combination, we have a lot to learn, and we're still, this is our second week together, so the learning curve is really steep for now. Every training we see huge progress, we feel new things, we discover stuff, like, it's really cool. So for now I'm really enthusiastic. I have to say, like, this training camp, training has been going well. I think the load was a little bit less than we're used to, so it was also really good to keep the focus at the right moment and stuff. But also I think the motivation is super high, because now it's racing season. Like, we're in April, and 1 month it's World Cup 1 already. Like, everything is gonna go so fast. Like, 1 month in sports, as you guys know, it's nothing, it's like, it's tomorrow. So we feel a bit this good pressure to do well, and I think it's a good challenge for us, because so for now in the team, the Swiss rowing kept only 5 heavyweights, and one of them is doing the single, and then 4 of us are doing the quad. So it's quite of a privilege and an honor, I think, to be in this 5 already, and to so the girl who's doing the single now is the best one, like the strongest girl. So I think for us in the quad, it's a bit of a good challenge to not having, the more experienced rower with us, because we are really, a bit independent, and if we do well, it's double the proud. We're like so proud if we do well, like even more than I think if she was in the boat. So and I think all of us 4 feel a bit of that, good challenge. Like, it's cool. Like, we don't have Mommy Pascal with us in the boat, and it's like really a challenge to be, the little ones that have to do well and to like rise to the challenge. So I think it's going to be I'm so excited to see what. But already up to now, the trainings are really, really well. Like, the dynamic in the boat is super good. The coach is doing a good job as well, I have to say. Like, I'm really happy with our coach. He's doing a good job. I think, I don't know what you think, but coaching girls is so hard.
Yeah, it's true.
It's so tough.
It's true.
And I think last year was his first year in his life that he was coaching girls.
Wow.
So he learned a lot, I think, in a year. And now I'm really, like, almost every session, I'm saying really to myself, like, wow, he has really improved with how he coaches us. Like, it's good. So I'm very happy at the moment.
So, do you have any questions, Noor?
No, I finished all my questions.
Okay. So, like, if you have an advice you can give to any rower, what can be the advice that you give a rower?
So I think my biggest advice is to be patient. Because I say this because I think I would hate someone saying that to me. I think now it's better, but this last years I would hate someone saying that to me, because I'm thinking I was not a patient girl, a bit better. But it's just that, as even if you think that, for example, in my life everything happened really fast in rowing. I started rowing, I had results quite quickly, and then I stopped and then came back, and then it was also very quickly, and then everything happened really, really quickly. But at the end of the day, like, now it's 10 years I'm rowing, and the whole journey I went through, like, I can only say that there's stuff that I feel now in my training, in my boat, in my body, in my performance that are just because I went through all of that journey. And so, yeah, and I think in those years, well, I've quitted rowing 3 times already, but always came back. When I am in the team, there's so many times where I'm like, okay, this is it, you know, I'm out and stuff. Like, I think I've had a lot of challenges and downtimes and injuries and surgeries and COVID and like whatever. But I think it's always good to use those things to take a real, you know, step back and to ask yourself the good questions and find your inner motivation, I think, because sometimes we get a bit too excited about everything that is external. But I think in a sport like rowing, where it's not a sport that has a lot of viewers, there's not a lot of money, there's not a lot of, you know, things going on. So I think it's really important in a sport like ours to have the passion and to do it for the passion and with passion, because otherwise there's no point in continuing. And I think that comes with, like, you know, really inner motivation and have your good reasons and your goal. And I think, yeah, good support team as well, like your family, your friends, your teammates, whatever. It's so important. So yeah.